But I wanted to let you know just about a couple of things that we decided. The last time I came to y'all to give you an update, I let you guys know that we wouldn't be meeting for in-person worship inside during the month of May, but that our emergency response team was working really hard, and they have been working really hard over the last week or week and a half to do everything we can to come back for in-person worship. So I have a couple of really great announcements for you all that I want to share. First of all, one of the things we decided last night in our emergency response team meeting is that even though we will not be meeting in person inside for worship on Sunday morning is still not happening through the month of May, we are going to have an outdoor worship service this Sunday night right here where I'm standing on the front lawn of the church. There's lots of shade, and we hope that you'll come. During this service, you will have to wear a mask, and we will not be able to sing, but I know that it's going to be a wonderful time for us to get together with our brothers and sisters in Christ, to be visible, worshiping God in our community. We'll have the opportunity to talk with each other a little bit, to lift up joys and concerns together, to read scripture together, and to pray together. So I hope you'll join us for that. One of the ways that you can join us for that, and something you'll need to do not only for this worship gathering, but for any worship gathering going forward for the foreseeable future, is we need you to register. So we want to know that you're coming and be prepared for you. So if you go to our website, the very first thing you see on our homepage is worship from home, but right under that it says in-person worship experiences. If you click there, you'll find an opportunity to register to attend or to register to help out, and I'm going to get to that helping out in just a second. But we're going to have the link to that right now appearing in the comments, and so we hope that you'll consider joining me and whoever is here on Sunday night at 6 p.m. On the front lawn of the church for an in-person worship gathering where we'll be able to have a little fun together. I hope to see you. I really can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. So that's the first big announcement. We have an in-person outdoor worship experience this Sunday evening at 6 p.m. The second thing I want to share with you is that we have decided also that in-person Sunday morning worship will start to happen in the fellowship hall with phase 2. So we feel like phase 2 gives us a little bit less risk than phase 1, and it gives us also a little bit more time to make sure that we're fully prepared. One of the things that we are doing to make sure we're prepared is recruiting volunteers. So in that same link, Jason's going to share it for me one more time in the comments. In that same link, you can also sign up to help. And this is really, really important because we need a good crew each and every Sunday morning that we're going to have worship in order for us to gather. And so there's just a little bit extra that we need help with in terms of greeting people in different ways and welcoming them in, making sure that we have a joyful experience even though we have masks on and even though we have these restrictions to work around. And so if you're willing to be a part of that team that's ready to tell the world how awesome it is to be in church even with these restrictions, we would love for you to sign up. Anything from helping in the parking lot and greeting people in the parking lot, directing people through the proper entrance, helping folks find the right seat. Those are the kinds of things that we need help with. So go ahead if you're interested in signing up and click that link or go to our website. You'll find a spot where you can just click very easily, fill out a form to sign up, and then somebody from our people team will get in touch with you and get you scheduled. So our big prayer is that we have so many people signing up to help that if phase 1 starts as early as June 7th, that we would be able, phase 2. If phase 2 starts as early as June 7th, that we would be able to have worship on June 7th. But we just need to make sure we have the volunteers in place to do that. So please consider volunteering. We also want to make sure that everybody realizes that as we are reopening for worship, whether inside or outside, we are all agreeing to maintain social distancing, to follow those guidelines from the state and from our governor, from the Louisiana United Methodist Conference, and from our bishop. We are definitely adhering to all of those things, and so that does mean that you'll wear a mask. That does mean that we're going to stay 6 feet apart. It does mean that we won't be singing in worship or praying corporately. But I, as your pastor, am really excited. I've spent a lot of hours over the past several days praying about and asking God to help me design a worship experience that will be meaningful to you, where we can participate in the ancient traditions of contemplation and meditation and corporate silence as we worship together and as we hear a good word from God that morning. So it will definitely be a little different than online worship, but I still think you'll really enjoy it, and I hope that you'll consider coming. When you register for those things, you'll want to make sure that you just kind of read through what we're asking you to do to prepare for worship. If you have your own mask, we hope you'll bring it. We'll have masks in case you don't, but we would love if you could bring masks if you have one. We also hope that if you have hand sanitizer that's easy to stick in your pocket, that you'll bring that with you too. We'll have hand sanitizer, but if you have your own, it'd be great for you to use it as well. One of the other things we're asking you to do is bring your own chair. We are worshiping in the fellowship hall or outside. Outside, obviously, you'll need to bring your own chair, but in the fellowship hall, if you bring your own chair, it's just a little bit easier to keep everything sanitary. You don't have one person sitting in a chair and then another person sitting in a chair, and there's a little bit less to clean. So if you could bring your own chair, that would be really helpful. If you don't have a chair, we still want you to come. We will have chairs for you. And then finally, I want to say regarding worship in general, online worship is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. As we reopen in phase 2 on Sunday morning, and even as we begin these evening prayer services and Sunday evening, those are in addition to the online worship that's already being provided. And right now, even though I'm talking a lot about what phase 2 worship looks like in our fellowship hall, we are already working on what it looks like to get back into our sanctuary when phase 2 is over, and we can return to a little bit more of a normal environment, something closer to what we were used to. I have a really great announcement I'd love to share with you, and that is that our church was awarded a $5,000 grant from the United Methodist Foundation specifically to get some extra equipment that will help us to continue having an intimate, wonderful online worship experience. So we hope that that is good news for everyone. We really want you to all know that regardless of what your comfort level is, whether you're planning to come to worship as soon as possible or whether you're still feeling like you need to wait, none of that labels you as a faithful or unfaithful person. We respect every single one of your decisions and right where you are, and our leaders are just working as hard as we can to offer options for every person, whether you're excited to get back as soon as possible or whether you feel like you need to stay home for a little bit. There's a couple of other things I just want to mention. One of the things that we are also encouraging starting immediately is that small groups, whether this is like your official small group, like your men's group or your couples group, or whether this is just like a friend group in the church that wants to get together, we are encouraging you to do that. Get together in small groups under phase 1 guidelines in safe ways. And do that to your own comfort level, of course. But adult groups, we feel like we can safely encourage you to do that. Our facilities are going to remain closed for right now because of just being a little understaffed at the moment and managing the facilities and making sure that we can keep open spaces clean. But we still encourage you, if you're able to get together in somebody's backyard or somebody's driveway or somewhere outdoors or at someone's house in a safe way that honors the guidelines that are being put forth by the governor, we really encourage you to do that, especially if it helps you to grow as a disciple of Jesus or continue to make disciples of Jesus. The other thing I want to tell you about is that we've decided that as far as our youth and children's ministry go, children's ministry is going to stay online only until schools go back to a normal way of doing school. And so probably phase 3 is when you'll see some of our children's ministries come back to in-person. Until then, they will be online. And our youth ministry will come back in very small doses outdoors starting in phase 2. So I know this is a lot of information for you to keep up with. The most important thing for you to remember is that all of our in-person gatherings, beginning this Sunday with the outdoor prayer service, and then on into in-person Sunday morning worship and youth group gatherings, all of those will require a registration. When you register, there will always be some extra information there for you to kind of know a little bit more about what to expect. And then also, for now, we know that we'll definitely be wearing masks, we won't be singing, and we won't be having the sacraments at this time during phase 1. Let me just check and see if I have anything else. I think that is about it. So if y'all have questions, I'm here to answer questions. I don't see, we have just a few people tuned in, but y'all are always welcome to text me at 985-778-1155 or email me at pastor@stcharlesumc.com, or go to our website where there will be a document that outlines all of the stuff that I just talked about, and there will also be this video available for you to rewatch. I hope that y'all have a wonderful evening. I miss y'all so much, and I hope to see you this Sunday night. Bye.